Welcome to the Growth Leaders by Short, where we spotlight extraordinary individuals transforming the landscape of empowerment. Today, we're thrilled to host Dr. Pavitra, a true trailblazer whose work is revolutionizing support for women everywhere. Dr. Pavitra is the founder of Million Moms in India, empowering millions of mothers and addressing their unique challenges. She's also the co-founder of Fortune Academy, a community of world-class investors and learners to create multiple streams of income for yourself. Beyond her role as a successful entrepreneur and orthodontist, she is a devoted mother and a loving wife. In this episode, Dr. Pavitra will explore the need for an inclusive and supportive work for culture for women, share insight from the Million Moms Initiative. She'll highlight the financial, emotional, mental, and physical challenges also for mothers, or what mother may face, and how we can create a nurturing environment for women. Join us for an inspiring conversation with Dr. Pavitra as she shares her journey and vision. This episode promises to be powerful, insightful, and uplifting. Don't miss it. Welcome, Mani, to the Growth Leaders podcast. Great having you here.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Peter, and I'm so looking forward to today's session.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? India today, you got 1.4 billion people. You are today, I think, the third most powerful nation in the world. You have a great growth. And with that, we can just foresee what is going to happen with India. But I would like to start. You are a orthodontist, but on the other side, you say you are a finance and business coach by heart, a social entrepreneur, educator, influences. Still, your education went in a total different way initially. Why was that?
So in India, there's one thing that happens, Peter. It's like even before we decide things, right? We are pushed into the profession by our parents, right?
Yes.
So it's not a conscious choice for us to, okay, I have to choose this, I have to choose that. Because from a very young age, we are brainwashed into the things that parents want for us. So that's the situation in India. So what I study is what my parents wanted me to do. What I'm doing right now is what I want to do.
But it takes quite a gut feeling, being you also came out as a top-notch orthodontist, actually saying, well, I have another mission in my life. I mean, something gave you that insight. What was that?
So for me, it was purely because of my work, right? I was someone who knew what I want to do in life. Though I say yes to elders, though I say I listen to what people advise, I have someone within me who's waiting to speak up, who's ready to go, right? So it's a beautiful mixture that I was able to follow till I got married. But after I got married, I told my parents, now I'm on my own, right? I'm going to take all my decisions on my own. It's okay if I'm going to fall. I'm ready to take the blow. I'm ready to do things on my own. So you guys have supported me. I'm very grateful for it. But now is my time. Right now is my time. Now is for me to discover who I am and what I have to offer to this world. By God's grace, again, thanks to my parents, my father has, it's not just discipline, he has perseverance, right? We are very resilient as people, even if there's a hardship, we consider that as normal. It is not something to be worried about. It is just a challenge. Right, and it's an adventure. So that's how I look at life, and I surrender to my work, and my work leads me in the direction that I need to move. Okay, I'm not on my own. For me, my work is everything, and I don't have to think what I would do in the future. I don't have to think what I did in the past. In this moment, what is best for me, I just surrender to it, and nature takes its course. Universe is a very big power out there which will lead us in the direction that we are supposed to be there.
Yes, and we see that also since we at Top Learning Solutions also we work a lot with India, and you have so many bright people, men and women, and we can see especially the women coming up. And it's quite interesting if I make a comparison to Sweden and Nordics, where we are in, we see nearly straight over in the education, women are always performing better than men. And that takes me to another question. One, you have many projects running, and they are not small, but you founded something called Million Moms. What is that?
So, for me, Million Moms was my life's mission. So, it was a movement which I wanted to create so that women start focusing on themselves, their bodies, their body autonomy, and not just on the kids. Because in India, what happens the moment a child is born, the entire focus is on the child. Right?
Yeah.
No one is even looking at what the mother is going through. It is not a normal thing to be on duty on call 24/7. It is not normal to be, it is not normal to give up everything for someone else or to that, and someone is so little response. It is not normal, to be doing so many hours of unpaid work and not even getting the respect for the amount of work that you are doing. Right? So for me, I wanted women to start focusing on their strengths and to see how amazing they are with all that they're doing and not feel bad or low about or dizzy about their decisions that they're taking. I wanted women to take ownership and feel proud that they're taking this decision out of choice and they have the capacity to bounce back anytime that they decide to.
And haven't you had some setbacks? Because I mean, at least my perception, there's still some traditions in India where the men want to decide at least, or decides. So there must have been. It can't just be fluent, where you get people or women and mothers to actually start get their insight about themselves. What makes them bloom. How has that been, or how is it?
So the way we designed the campaign, Peter, is we didn't drive only the woman, right? We didn't focus on the woman. We said, how is your mom doing?
Yeah.
The entire campaign was driven through people for their mom, right? So we are not making the call only to a mom. So if a mom has to decide, right, she will always put her family first. So we should influence either her kids, right? So imagine a guy goes and tells his mom. He may not tell his wife, you have to take care of yourself, but he'll definitely tell his mom, Mom, you need to rest. Mom, you need to work out. Mom, you need to take care of yourself, right? So the way we designed the campaign, we didn't design it. It's not like a reward. It is not like, you have to do it, mom. The campaign was not focused on moms. The campaign was focused on children. We started addressing the kids. We started addressing adult kids. We started telling them, look at how your mom has done. You should go and tell your mom to join the Million Moms campaign. You should go and tell your mom to be part of this. So you should tell your wife who's the mom. And then we change the narrative to, look at your wife who's a mom. Okay, first we say, look at your mom. And no guy says no to his mom. And then we say, look at your wife who's also a mom. She has a little child who can't even speak like you. So who's going to be her supporter? It is you. So go tell her to take care of herself. It was very beautifully designed.
And I think that's a wonderful way to approaching it. What are the principles behind Million Moms? What is it you want to achieve? Somewhere there's some independence in there, I presume. But before getting there, what are the main principles in here?
Another massive thing that I noticed in most of moms, they were victim, right? Where they are such a powerful being, but they're behaving like victims at home. So we wanted them to become warrior moms, like where we started. The message was all about start taking care of your physical health, start taking care of your mental health, start taking care of your emotional health, and then start taking care of your financial health. This whole founding the pillars of it, where taking care of your physical body, mental body, your emotional body, and then your financials will automatically fall in place. So we were driving it in that angle. Right? Even for men, if you look at it, I tell the woman, okay, you have to be fit. But how can a woman be fit if you're not giving her the time? She's so loaded with responsibility. So we tell her, what responsibility are you going to take so that you give 15 to 20 minutes for a woman to be able to do what she has to do with respect to her body? right? So the campaign was driven in you take the mom's responsibility. Instead of saying, oh, go do it, you have to do this, or instead of saying, why you not doing it, take
Mm.
her responsibility, give her free time, and tell her to choose what she wants to do.
So how is this, call it training, then performed? Because, you have to have a lot of advocates out there over time. So it
have an
becomes
army of
a
advocates,
snowball here. Or maybe you don't have snow there, but at least from our world, you would have a snowball rolling down.
Yeah, so
How
for
does
me,
that work? Because there must be, training insights. We who grew up here, I mean, that comes from the childhood. We do a lot of sports, we're a lot outside, and it's more equal in that sense. But how do you perform this, get this movement running, and what hurdles was there in that? Let's start with that, how you got it there.
yeah, so for me, I had massive support. Okay, I seriously think I had any hurdles, honestly, because it's very nice to say, oh, I had this problem, I overcame it like this, but that was not my case. I had massive support. Right, my best friend who was supporting me in this journey, she had the entire stars aligned in this process. All the movie actors, all the women who have become mothers. I had a massive support from all the celebrities, all the actors and actresses. Right, on one side, I had a mass appeal from all of these people. On the other side, I had government support so that I can do grassroots level work. Right, the Women and Child Welfare Departments, which is headed by Telangana government, right? The Telangana government, my government, Principal Secretary of Women and Child Welfare Departments backed me up massively in this project because these are government goals also, but they were not able to take it effectively to the grassroots levels. So it was like our missions aligned so beautifully. So the reach was massive because of that.
And how is it financed? Do the women pay to be part of this?
No,
Maybe a
so
small
I kept
piece,
it
or
100% free for everyone from every corner of the world. Right? I created salsa groups, and it is an absolutely free program that we have created, and it was funded by me. All that I was earning, I was putting into this project fully. And we designed the digital systems and everything in such a way that there would be a leader in one community, and she can drive the program by just running the different programs or challenges that we have given. So we have designed it in like anyone can take up leadership. We train them into what they're supposed to be doing, and then they help our women around them. So it is like a chain process. It is not just me being the face of it. We have given all the material that is needed for women to be community leaders and take in charge of all the women around them. And from there, if another leader emerges, she'll go and support another community. Like that, we were creating groups of women. Like we have cities here in Hyderabad, where a small group of women come together, they save money, they pool money, they have fun. Like that, every area we created one leader, that leader will drive it in a community. Right? They create WhatsApp groups and they support each other and they finish the challenge.
and then they also get the experience of actually being a leader, which can then be moved to a company
And
or
most of the
any
leaders
project and so on.
it's so beautiful, Peter. Most of the women leaders, they went back. They chose their professions. They went back into a workforce. They became financially literate because they're getting the practice leadership skill in their own way. They get recognition. They get confidence. Right? From volunteering, they became leaders, and from leadership back into workforce. And our mission is at you.
Do you have any success stories which you can share? Maybe not by name, but say, yeah, here's a woman, who were really in this situation and how that has moved.
So,
which you have in your mind?
It's not one situation.
No, but you could, as an example.
Yeah, and it's like we have created not one or two. We have created like literally lots of stories. Literally.
Yeah.
One woman, when she joined us, she just gave birth to twins. Okay, she crossed 100 kgs of weight. After she started working out with us, she became a leader in her community. She created a WhatsApp group. More than 100 plus women she has inspired and supported through her journey. She herself lost 30 to 40 kgs of weight. She became lean, healthy, and she started supporting more women. She got into that field. She collaborated with a nutritionist, and now they're running their own community. Right? So it is like we have This is just one small story. Like this, there are this. I have stories in lakhs. Yeah.
And,
So
how is this spreading, both in India, but maybe also outside? Because what I can hear is that you have even bigger visions for this program than
yes.
in India.
Right. So I feel, once I reached 1 million moms, Peter, that part of me which I wanted to help women, that automatically came to a closure. You find big satisfaction, and it runs its time out, right? Like, we are done with the mission because we've triggered enough number of people. Disney, it's become a people's movement, right? And I feel the satisfaction in what we have done. So at that end, I feel yes, it's Tumblr closer. And right now, my focus is on another big mission, which is creating financial literacy in India, raising
Yes.
awareness around financial literacy in India. That's the movement which I'm currently spearheading right now. How to make families financially strong, financially secure, financially independent. This is what we're working on currently.
And is that still with the main focus on women, or that is
Now
actually
the main
for
focus is
everyone?
family.
Yeah, that's families, because that is has to be the next step on that. And even that, those initiatives and the programs, are they running mainly online, or is it a combination where you're actually out in communities and so on, or how does that work?
It's a combination, Peter. It's a combination. We
Yeah.
have online lane also, but if we have local leaders who want to take it up in their community, support them, and they can take it up in the local community. I'm actually kickstarting a district tour starting next Tuesday. Right, where we are going to every single district headquarters and creating awareness in that specific area around financial literacy. If you look at India, we have 77% literate people in India, but less than 27% of people are financially literate. Right, it is not about how much money we are earning, but how well are we managing our money. Because if you're not able to manage our money, it's like we are slaves to corporate the rest of our lives. Right, the education system, I think, is designed to make us employees to big organizations all our lives. Right, it is not designed for families to thrive. It is not designed for families to support each other. If you look at the system, right, even the education system or even the corporate system, right, it is designed for men, A, and B, it is not designed for families. It's like, imagine the kid goes to school at a different time. A corporate work culture demands a different timing altogether. How do you even raise a child in a situation like this, right? So if we have to bring back the balance, we need to create a shift in the mindset of people, not to depend on someone to employ them, but how can they stand or own their own seat, and how can they bring back what a family stands for. Right?
It is, yeah, no, I fully follow you, and I can also see the power for the future when you look at that massive country of India as it is today. When you look out at the world, are there any countries or regions where you see that have been actually successful making changes? Now you have China there, you have US, and of course you have the whole Southeast Asia, and then parts of Europe, or and so on. Have you had any pictures in your mind, or you're just taking what to be done at home, and then we'll take it from there? So how have you been reasoning on this?
So if you look at Australia, Sweden, Finland, these countries, there is much more balance in these countries compared to the developed countries. Even China, I see factories of laborers working. Okay, I don't see China has developed with respect to a family system. I honestly don't see that in China. So it's a developing country, right? I don't see it even in the US, sadly. Because the cost of living is so damn high. It is like crazy high. Everyone has to do 2 or 3 jobs. They're working at mad day in and day out. But that's not the case with Australia, with Sweden, with Finland from your country. Not how balanced. So these are the countries that we can look up to with respect to either happiness or how the family functions, or the work-life balance which is there, where the corporates are not just sucking everything out from the people, but people also are having their say in the system.
I fully understand. So you have a lot of ideas, and I can also see there's a lot of energy burning, and that's great. So how do you handle these situations yourself? Because the more product you got, the more energy you have up to a certain point. And then you just have to know yourself, okay, now it's time for me to do something else. How do you handle your balance in your
So,
life?
I come from a very strong uh, spiritual rooting, Peter. Right.
Mm,
I am a Vipassana meditator, and I have I live in awareness, self-awareness, and my biggest strength comes from working in teams.
mm,
Working in teams, because like you said, um, I'm in it, by God's grace. My family comes from my family is my biggest support. Like my parents, my in-laws, my grandparents. There is a very great connection that it's like it's just flowing to us. And
mm,
we are very strong in incorporating the same values and same behaviors in our children. We don't let them do whatever they wish to with respect for certain value system and morals, right? So when you're coming from that place, and so for me, it's very important in my family to create that balance. And so I have a system where uh, I call it as an ABCD system, where I
mm.
only do the absolute tasks,
Yeah,
right? And I delegate most of the tasks to the team that I'm working with. Right? I build amazing teams, and my team are capable of handling these tasks. Right?
yeah.
So for me, I've incorporated that into all areas of my life and business. Anything that I take up, I first hire the right team.
And let us take a few minutes on this topic, because it is actually one of the absolute strengths for becoming a good and great leader. That is the power of delegation, but still being available as the coach mentor, because we want you to take the decisions when I delegate, but you may not have all the experience. But coming up, this is the way I'm thinking, and then building that trust with your manager or leader, say, okay, can we just talk a bit, and bounce the ideas, and he or she should not take the decisions, but actually, yeah, you're just on the right track. Have you thought about that? How do you do this? Because I think that's where we see the leaders who really are appreciated out in the companies, etc., who has that ability. Because we also still see the other type of leader. I know the best way to do it, so this is the way we do, and that is not appreciated most of the time. So, how do you do this?
So for me, I build the systems of accountability, right? And I
Yes.
give the ownership to my people that I hire. I tell them very clearly, I'm hiring you not to do what I'm telling. I'm hiring you so that you can lead the company, right? But there is a framework within which we need to operate. Right? Even when we hire them, we discuss the entire framework in which we operate if they're aligned to it. So I hire leaders. I create leaders. Right? I don't create dependents. That's they have to get every approval from me. No. They know very clearly what are my core values and what is a definite no from my side. And we have open honest communication, and then now we ask each other. So it's an
Mm,
ongoing process of building trust, and where they are coming out of their shell, they are discovering who they are, they're discovering their strengths. And so for me, every leader that I build or a manager that I build in every company, I want them to be independent, to
mm,
understand the values and to run things on their own.
yes.
Okay, and if things go wrong, we know exactly what we need to do. There is a code of honor for everything that we do.
Yeah. And that takes me then to, have you set some principles, or do you have some principles, man or woman, does not matter, for being a good leader? What are those values or principles that you see?
Yeah, so I call it as a code of honor, basically, where
Yes.
it is where Like every morning, all our employees, whenever they come in, they're reminded of it. So the most important thing is keep an open mind for feedback. Finish what you start. Always stay in exchange. Celebrate all the wins. Be open and honest and in direct communication. Take full responsibility. No blame, justification, or denial. Honor all agreements. When in doubt, take action. Do whatever it takes to win morally, legally, and ethically. And discuss conversations of what went well and what went wrong and how we can improve. These are some things which we discuss every day. Okay, are we sticking to all of this? Is there anything which we are missing out on this? How can we course correct?
Well, that's beautiful to listen into, Mani. Is there anything you would like to question me doing the hosting here? So I'll turn that to you.
Thank you so much for that, Freedom. So, if you can elaborate on what your company does and why you wanting proper leaders across the world, if you can speak about that.
Well, talking about, I think I have to go back. I've had the fortune. I was 29 years old when I became managing director for the first time. And I've had leadership roles. I have the fortune to work all over the world, 15 different countries as chairman or CEO. And over the years, one of the most exciting things is all the cultural differences we have, the different decision processes there are in countries, regions, and where things went right and where things went wrong. I left the corporate world nearly 10 years ago and then decided to start building a company which is focused on leadership development. And today we are one of the larger global suppliers with nearly 500 courses in leadership, personal development, team development. And that is really sharing what our insights are. When it comes to doing interviews with you and other people, they are connected in a sense, but they are also disconnected, because my true belief is that every person has a journey. There is something to be shared, and there's a learning lesson. And that is really what we are looking for here, leaders to come and lead us on a journey, that they should be able to listen into episodes and actually pick up a thing or two from each and every episode, which they can bring home, could be into the families or into their work situation. So that's what we're doing. And then on top of that, and they may see also, okay, there's additional skills we can build upon together with us. So that's my view on this, and our hope also for a great change and empowerment of people. Men, women, or whatever. We work with all types of colors and so on, and that's just a great way to work.
Well,
that's great, and it's good to have something to put your hooks on when you are on your journey. You know what, Mani? It's such a great thing getting to know you and follow you, and hopefully the more we work in India, love to working with you and your visions, and just thank you for sharing all your insights to growth leaders all over the world.
Thank
you so much, Mani.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and having this amazing conversation.
Thank you.